So I'm using an app called the Viewfinder app, and today I'm just kind of scouting around trying to find some subjects. This particular juniper tree caught my eye a couple weeks ago. I saw it from across the valley, so I hiked up here. A little tricky to get up here, and this app is nice because it allows me to bring like the exact lens that I'm going to use. I don't have to carry any extra equipment, so it's telling me this 600 millimeter is going to be the lens to bring. I'm going to shoot this as a horizontal. Right now I'm just trying to figure out the best lighting for this scene. So the sun comes up from over here and the tree's this direction, so maybe soft morning light would look pretty good. I kind of wanted to see it backlit again. I like that, that style of lighting for these trees. But there's these rocks here, and I was checking this app I have called Lumos. It's like a sun tracking app. And around 7 p.m. the sun's going to be behind the tree, but right behind the tree is also these big boulders that I think is gonna block the sun from catching kind of the tree here. So it's tough to say. So I might have to come back another evening to scout this, or just show up with my camera and see what happens. So there's another tree up the road. I'm gonna get my stuff and go check that one out as well. So this is the second tree that I wanted to check out today. This one I found a few weeks ago. This is actually the Pacific Crest Trail right here. I was just hiking along, and this is a pretty big juniper, and I wanted to see if I can find a good angle on it today. So I'm gonna hike around and see if I can get a good composition and try to figure out the best angle and time of day to photograph this in. So it's looking like a 210 millimeter, and this particular tree is looking really good backlit. Like right now the light's actually perfect. So anywhere between 3 and 4:30 I think is going to work. So I'll probably start here and then photograph that other tree in the late evening. Well, it's now July 5th. It's about 2 weeks after I scouted this photo. I've been just kind of busy. I've been in the wood shop a lot, but I've also been focused on a book project I've been working on for the last year or so. And that's kind of taken a lot of my creative energy away from the landscape. I've been really focused on just a different genre of photography, really. So it's been fun to kind of push myself in a new direction, do some portrait work, do some still life stuff. So definitely fun and enjoying it. But that's kind of why the videos have been a little bit slower this year. Obviously, I've been very busy, but I also haven't been photographing the landscape as much. And something I do miss. Normally I don't photograph in the summer like this. It's pretty hot today. It's like 90 degrees, and that's why. But it is nice to be out here. So I'm going to set up this shot in about an hour, and we'll see what we can come up with. Well, I've got this shot here set up. I was initially going to do a vertical composition, but I felt like I was cutting off too many limbs of the tree and just too focused on the trunk here. So this tree is, what's kind of cool about it is how wide it spans, and the branches are also pretty symmetrical as they go out. So horizontal works really well. It's a very full frame. I don't have much foreground, and I'm cutting off a good chunk of the top, but I think overall I'm pretty happy with it. I'm using a 210 millimeter. This is a Computar lens, f9. I've got about 1.5 inches of front rise here, and I also tilted the camera up a little bit. I'm not worried about converging lines really. You'll be able to tell because you got some, vertical pines in the back and some grasses here that might kind of angle in a little bit. But it's not a big deal for this kind of shot. The reason I tilted it back is just a little bit worried about coverage. This lens will cover 11x14 if you stop it down. And typically, if you notice on the back of the ground glass, you have these little notches that are cut out on the corners. That's actually not for air. A lot of people think it's for compressing your bellows so the air can escape. That's actually to check the coverage of your lens. So if you look down the corner, you can see the lens opening, then you know you're not clipping the corners. With front rise, you would worry about the bottom corners. But with this camera design, when you slide the rear of the camera up, you really can't get your head into a position where you can look up at the lens from the corner here. So it's hard to tell if I'm going to clip. So I'm just playing it safe here. Got the camera tilted up, and I'm going to stop down to f45, and should be all good. So right now I'm just kind of waiting for the light, and then I'll expose a couple sheets of film. All right, so that's pretty much composed. I got my focus done too, so now I'm just kind of waiting on the light here. I actually kind of like it. It's a nice framing on this with the 600. I don't really like how I'm sitting on the edge of a cliff though, but I'm as stable as I can be. You guys are same situation. That leg over there looks like it might, if we get a swift breeze, that might be the end of this YouTube channel. We'll see. But it's pretty calm out, so I'm not too worried. Now, the app that I've been using says around 7 p.m. we're gonna get the lighting that I'm hoping for is gonna be just to the right of the rocks behind the tree, and hopefully that doesn't block the light hitting the back of the tree, because that's what I'm going for. Seems to be the theme of these junipers with me, little backlit action. Everything else looks pretty good. So I even got some nice clouds that are filling up the empty part of the frame on the top left. So it'd be kind of nice if those stuck around. Yeah, really liking this light. I think I'm gonna just kind of get the film in here. Composition's all set, focus is set, so I don't really need to look at it anymore. And I think the light's gonna fade so quickly that I want to be ready to go. Exposure should be about the same as the last shot. The shadows are in right around 10. And I'm going to put those in zone 4 just to give me some information there to work with. And I'll probably also do an N- development, so pretty much the same thing. Getting very close here. Just pulled the dark slide. Might have pulled it a little early, but it seems like we're getting some help from these branches here. So I'm going to make one exposure now while the light's still hitting the foreground here. I don't mind waiting a little bit longer to see what else the light does and expose another sheet of film. This is going to be 2 seconds. All right, well, hopefully that shot turned out all right. I think a little tricky with the lighting, but we'll see. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I should see you in a few weeks.